Welcome to the Daily Influence, where our mission is to deliver a daily dose of positive influence that can uplift you personally or be shared within your sphere of influence. While not every episode may directly apply to your unique circumstances, we strive to provide insights and inspiration relevant to most people's daily, weekly, and monthly lives. Whether you are tuning in during the morning, noon, or night, the Daily Influence is here for you. Listen, share, and embrace the power of influence in your life.
Hi, Brian Smith here with the Daily Influence, and today we're going to recap Foundation, and we'll be moving into a new chapter, Individualism. But today's about our recap of our Foundation, and you might remember that we began Foundation with self-awareness, and it's really important to be self-aware of who we are and who we are today, where we came from, understanding these things. And when we become self-aware, be non-judgmental about that awareness. It's really important not to be judgmental about your past and the things that happened to you then. It's not healthy, and it's really important to move you forward and to be positive about understanding yourself and understanding what makes you who you are, which is amazing and very important. The big takeaways that we had about self-awareness was self-exploration and self-discovery. At the beginning of the process, explore, discover, and become aware of your own mind. And that's the things that come up in your mind. And we talk about those in the past in our Who Am I? Intuition, clarity, self-deception, if you remember. So understanding where they come from is really important in our self-awareness so that we have that foundation of self and we have understanding of who we are and where we are today and where we want to go. The second thing that we talked about in our foundation is, habits, and we all have habits, good and bad. And those habits are just a part of us. And understanding those habits and how they influence us and what we do with those habits. It can be as simple as biting nails or saying a phrase. You might remember I talked about Renee and her whatnots and how she said whatnot all the time until she saw herself on a film and she changed it just like that. She stopped saying whatnot very, very quickly. And sometimes we don't understand our habits until we go through that self-awareness and we get a understanding of those habits that we have, good and bad. It's not all habits are bad. Some habits you might want to develop, some you might want to get rid of, but embracing your habits, working with your habits, being self-aware of them, and then allowing them to be a positive influence for you. And the takeaway is by understanding your habits, you can begin to solve some of the issues that your habits may be causing or not helping. And you can move negative habits to positive habits, or you can get rid of negative habits. You can also replace negative habits with positive habits and create new opportunities for you to have better individual advantages for yourself. Oftentimes, we don't realize that the habits that we have are holding us back or are causing us to not reach as far as we can. So understanding them can help us to create better opportunities for us and give us more opportunities to be a better self and to reach our goals, whatever those goals might be. Your area of influence is yours. You own it. You understand it. But helping you reach those goals is part of this. And habits are a lot like comfortable focus. You can become numb to them. Oftentimes we don't even realize our habits, like the whatnots from Renee. So depending on the habit, they can affect your character or your personality. So aspire to know your habits, understand your habits, work with your habits, engage with your habits, find the negative ones, get rid of them or change them, and enhance the positive ones. The next that we talked about with foundation was character. And your character is the culmination of your behavior in all aspects. And it's a big part of your foundation. And knowing your character, what you want your character to be, is really important. And it's your actions that define your character. It's not what we hope to be. It's you define your character by your actions, by your behavior. So it's really important that you understand what you want your character to be and you strive to do that. And remember, you can spend your whole life building your character. Sometimes it only takes one instance to hurt your character. So this is where we get into so much about being responsible for our influence and understanding, being self-aware, these habits, because it's really important that we have an understanding of what we want our character to be and how our behavior affects that, because it does. The key takeaways is measuring character takes time, and measuring personality can be done just like that. I mean, somebody could walk in and be happy, and you can be, that's a great person. And you can misjudge from personality somebody's character. Honesty is an important character trait. It is about having enough respect for yourself and for other people to lay it all on the line to be honest. Being honest can be hard sometimes. Your character may be called into question depending on the people you hang out with. So your character can be defined by the company you keep. And while I don't agree that that's probably fair all the time, it is what it is. And it's part of the next part of our foundation, which is perceptions, reality. And what people see in you can define what people believe your character is. So it's important that we understand these things about ourselves. We understand and become self-aware of our habits and our actions and our behaviors, because they do define our character. And remember, you can spend a lifetime developing your character, and you can destroy it in one moment. The next part of foundation was perception is reality, and it's really important that you and we understand that what people perceive of us can be the reality. How we dress, how we speak, how we do anything is really important, because perception's reality. And your perception is your reality, but other people's perception is their reality. Be mindful of who you are and who you are perceived to be. That's part of being self-aware. It's part of knowing yourself and understanding yourself. Your influence is part of the perception equation. People perceive based on the influence in their life. Remember that. The influence that people experience is their perception. That's why our influence is so important, why it's such a huge responsibility. And finally, never discount the power of context and the influence it has on perception. Details matter, context matters. So be as clear and concise as you can, because when you are and you offer good context, then perception is elevated and people will have a clearer understanding, and you can have some better management of your perception. And then empathy is that last part of our foundation. That's when we can recognize, categorize, and understand the emotions of others. And it's really important that you understand how you use empathy, that you use empathy, and that you use it correctly, and that you employ empathy in places where it is positive and it is genuine, and it's there to help others get through their issues. And remember, it's not acceptance of their issues, it's just understanding of their issue. So don't confuse the two. And empathy can help create an environment for positive influence. As you reflect on your foundation and all of these things that we talked about, self-awareness, habit, character, perception and empathy. Look in the mirror. You're amazing. Your influence matters. Work to be responsible for that influence. Work to build that foundation that you would be proud of, and be the influence that you want to be. We'll talk to you again tomorrow, where we kick off on individualism.